we are with the Giza 3D team. The goal of today is to bring the 3D artists that are going to be making the virtual Giza archives and to get them inspired from the real archives.
Everything that you're doing, whether it's an object or a structure or a landscape, we will always start with something that is known, that we can say very specifically what it is and how we want to do it. But also with everything, we reach a threshold, we reach a point in your creative process where we cross into very little or no knowledge. And this is a very nice example of applying knowledge to what we have and can concretely say we know and filling in the blanks. My name is Nick Picardo. I am with the Giza Archives project at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston and with the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. Proportion, texture, and overall visual properties of materials.
And the third?
I would say familiarity. The study of ancient Egypt is all about a lot of consistency, but with very important variation. And we're trying to just give them even just an intuitive feel. Things to be aware of from a modeling standpoint. There were a certain number of typical statue types. They could be single individuals, standing. We have 3 over there, both male and female. Seated, as we have here. Couples, male and female, often with the wife. They're usually married couples, arm around the husband, not always. Details in terms of seated or standing postures that are worth taking note of and how consistent they are. Standing individuals, particularly men, often have 1 foot forward. They're referred to as a striding statue or in a striding pose. For seated statues, note the positions of the hands. Often you will find this pose with one hand flat on the leg, on one leg, one hand wrapped around, either wrapped up in a fist or wrapped around an object.
So this is another piece. If you have a trained eye, you look at this piece and you go, something is wrong. This does not follow the rules. I'm Russ Gant. I'm a technologist and an Egyptologist. My specialty is the creation of ancient worlds and particularly the recreation of ancient Egypt through the art and science of virtual reality. You look at the claws on the feet. This looks like something from the 19th century in France. This looks like the leg of a table or a chair. The proportions on the body. Something is going on here that is not right. And that's what looking at many things will get you, is that you may not know exactly why it's not the same, but your eye and brain says it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the group.
You are actually seeing an ancient grid. This is an ancient grid. They were usually rendered in red, and you're seeing them more because the overlay of paint is no longer there. So this seems to be actually complying fairly well with what would become the classic proportions of the seated figure.
Now, one of the things we were talking about was the importance of proportion in establishing whether this is Egyptian and which period Egyptian it is. So, look at this statue, and what do you see in proportion?
Here? Off the top of your head, do you think it's going to fit to the 18 square grid?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, my name is Steven. Here I'm working on the Giza Archive project and I'm modeling statue. Yeah, so it's very exciting and we learn a lot of Egyptian civilization and that's pretty cool.